Hey, I'm Steve Krenz for Guitar Gathering. Thank you for joining us on this lesson on riffs and patterns that every guitarist needs to know. There are a few go-to patterns that are used in all kinds of styles, whether it's bluegrass or blues, whatever you find yourself playing, and they're just very characteristic licks that you're going to see all the time on guitar. You can't really call yourself a guitar player until you have these underneath your fingers. Hey, there's a free PDF that goes along with tonight, so if you can, go ahead and download that. The link is in the YouTube description down below, and let's go ahead and take a look at the first one. We're going to go through basically four little licks, four little riffs on guitar, and then I'm going to also give you two important patterns that you can start to see how these things all fit together on the instrument. This is going to start out simple, but the ramifications are going to be really big. Think of these as like seeds. These are ideas that you take just the seed of, and it can grow into all different directions. So let's take a look at the first one. All right, the first riff we're going to talk about is this one. You'll see it's on page 1 there. I have it in the music notation and in the tab there as well. We're going to start this one in the open position, and it's a very simple lick. You've heard it all the time. A very simple lick. So let's take a look at it in the open position first. Third finger, open E or open D. First finger E flat. Second finger E. G, A, C. It's basically kind of a major pentatonic scale if you want to think about it in the key of C. So you can spin this little lick into 1,000 different directions. So let's play it one more time. C, D, E flat. You can even hammer onto this E. That's from the flatted third to the third there. So what if I wanted to, there it is in the open position, nothing fancy about that at all. Well, what if I wanted to take it up an octave? Well, I could put my pinky over here at the 4th string on the, the 10th fret, and I'm going to do, first finger would now be at the D, second finger on the E flat, third finger on the E. Probably shift positions there, do my first finger there. So that little basic idea, da 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 da, you can spin out of it different ways. That's the seed that starts it. And I can go down backwards. Something like that, maybe. If I wanted to go down backwards with it. All right, so that's the basic idea of a lick. If I did it in another open key, let's do it in the key of G. Start again on my third finger, back here in the open position. This is the second diagram down there. G, A, B flat, B natural, D, E, G. You hear it all the time in bluegrass, country things as well. Up an octave. Just working down those same notes. What was all that? It's the same series of notes. I'm just... switch my fingers here. E, D, B, B flat, A, G. E, D, B, B flat, A, G. There it is in C. G. What if I did it in some couple of other open keys? What if I did it in the key of A? All right, well, so if it did it in the key of A, I'm going to play it in the second position here, so you end up going A, first finger on the B, C, C sharp. Hey, look at that. If I wanted to go to the key of B flat, I play the B here and then skip up to the third position and do the same lick there. It's all about taking a simple idea and putting it in as many different positions as you can. Don't just learn one lick. It's more than that. It's, can I play it in other positions on the guitar? Can I play it in other keys? We did an A, what if I did it in D? Open, here it is, almost the same fingering. First finger, second finger, third. Except we spin out of it with our second finger. What if I did it in E? Almost the same fingering again. Same fingering as it would be for the A. So there I've got that same lick in the 5 different open keys, C, A, G, E, and D, the caged keys if you want to think about it that way. Once you've learned the lick, then you try and add something to it. Let's go back to the key of C. I just kind of went up to the E natural there. There I went up and down. So don't just learn the lick, learn how you can spin out of it into other things. Spinning and using those notes there. Take a look at the last line on that page. We're going to put it in the key of F. Now this one doesn't use any open strings, so this one is movable. Here's our root with that first finger F. Then I'm going to shift up to the third position on the 6th string, and I'm going to go first finger, second finger, third finger, just like we did before. First finger, third finger. So there's the basic lick. If we're adding that little hammer on there. But now look, here's one of the things, one of the patterns that we're going to run into is here. I've got my first finger, then I just scoot up 2 frets and do the same pattern again. But I have to spin out of it a little bit differently. And I hit it here with my second or first finger. If I wanted to keep going up, I go up 2 frets, and now I'm on the 2nd string at the 8th fret, and I do the same finger. You can chain these licks together to create a much larger idea off of this one simple idea. There it is in F. If I wanted to play it at F sharp, I just go up a half step and play exactly the same pattern. Scoot up 2 frets. If I take it back down to, let's say I wanted to play it in B flat, no problem. Put my first finger on the B flat, scoot up 2 frets, and then do my little lick. And there you've got a simple little seed of an idea that you can use to take in different directions when you're soloing. All right, so let's do a little example here. So let's say I'm doing sort of a bluegrass thing, and I'm in maybe the key of G. There you go. Let's do it one more time. C, D. What if I played that lick on the various chords in that progression? We had a simple idea. We learned it in a movable form and an open form. We threw it in as many different keys as we can. We threw it in different places on the neck. That's a good game to play. Just pick a finger and pick a string, and then try and play the lick from that. Take a look at the second page. This is the second riff. This one, we're going to use a little bit of a hybrid picking thing. So I've got we talked about this in our last lesson. I've got my first and my thumb holding the pick, and then my second and third finger are going to be doing the lick. And we're going to be, the lick is basically this. Simple little country-esque sounding lick. All right, so what am I doing here? Well, I'm in the key of E. With my second finger, I'm going to come up here to the 4th fret on the 3rd string, hit that B. Then I'm going to hit the G sharp on the 1st and 3rd string. So pay attention, I'm using the 1st and the 3rd string. That's important. We're going to do a different combination here in a second, but this is the 1st and 3rd string. 2nd finger and 3rd finger. Then I go down a half step, down a half step. One more time. First finger on the G sharp to the E. Now you'll notice before that G sharp I've got a little bit of a grace note, we call it in the biz. It's a smaller note, it's a G natural, and you can kind of hammer onto that G sharp. So if we put them all together, I could maybe even slide up to it. You'll hear this in country songs, Willie Nelson country songs. You'll also hear it in a lot of blues as well. So if I did it, there it is on the 1st and 3rd strings. What if I did it on another string set? Well, let's say I could do it on the 2nd and 4th. So I'm going to come up here to the B. Instead of playing it here on the 3rd string at the 4th fret, I'm going to play it at the 4th string at the, the 9th fret? And I'm going to do the G sharp on the 2nd string at the 9th fret as well. Same fingering. And then 2nd finger is going to catch the G sharp. 1st finger is going to catch that E. Hey, can I go up? A very useful lick that you're going to find all kinds of ways to spin out of. What if I did the inner note, have the 2nd finger and the 1st finger here? A lot of Stevie Ray Vaughan did licks start that way. A great little lick to have underneath your fingers there. Okay, so we've done it on the 1st and 3rd strings. This is the key of E. We've done it on the 2nd and 4th strings, and those are both open. All right, so let's talk about if we wanted to move this. Well, let's say I wanted to do it in the key of, we did it in E. Let's say I wanted to do it in the key of F. Okay, well, you got to think of what the notes are. This is the 5th step of the F scale here at the 5th fret on the 3rd string, going up to the 3rd. So I always like to think of the higher note as the one I'm pivoting off of. So it's the 3rd, the flatted 3rd, the 2nd, and then it's resolving to the root, the F. So there it is in the key of F. Well, I did it on the 2nd and 4th strings, same thing. I go up here to the 3rd, because there's the F. What if I wanted to do it in the key of G? Well, no problem. I go to the 3rd of G. There's a G. So here's where I start the lick. What about the key of B flat? Well, no problem. There's a B flat. Go up to its 3rd. Don't just learn a lick. Learn where you can use the lick and how you can put it into different keys. It may require, when you use getting out of open keys that you have to adjust the fingering a little bit. Don't let that throw you. Find it in these different keys so that you can use it in whatever key that comes across. If we transpose the lick to the key of G, now here, maybe I'll have to do a bar there on the 3rd fret and get that 2nd finger to do that hammer on there. Hey, let's go back to E for a second. Let me show you another trick you can do with this. I can flip it. So instead of the G sharp, I'm going to put the G sharp on the low note. And I'm going to put the B as the higher note. So I'm using the 6th string and the 3rd string. If I keep that open, see how that flips? I have the B and the G sharp, and then I just flip it. I have now 2 strings in between. I can move up. That's really helpful if I'm going from like a 1 to a 4 chord, the E chord to an A chord. So let's say I did a little blues progression. Walking up. It's that simple lick. Learn how to play it ascending, learn how to play it descending. Hey, we did that in the key of E. Before we get off of that, if I wanted to transpose it, and let's say I wanted to do it in the key of F, there's an F and an A. So I have my 1st finger and my 3rd finger on the 3rd string of the 2nd fret, and then I go back to my 2nd and 3rd, 2nd and 3rd, 2nd and 3rd. What if I needed to do it in B flat? Just put my 1st finger wherever the key I'm in, or the chord I want to do it over, C, and there you're ready to go. Remember, it's not just about the lick, it's about how I can spin out of that lick to play some other stuff. Take a look at this next one. I'm not going to use any open strings on this one. I'm going to put it right here in the 3rd position. I'm going to slide up to the 5th position. I'm going to go. That's it. 2, 3, 4, 1. 1st finger, then I jump up and I catch my 3rd finger at the 7th fret. 1st finger, 3rd finger, 1st. You can even slide from that 5th string, 5th fret up to that 7th string. Let me teach you a little something on slides. When you slide a note, you want to use the finger that you're going to eventually want to end up on. So I want to end up with my 3rd finger on this E. So I'm going to start the slide with the finger that I want to end up on. So I don't start the slide with my 1st finger, because then I'm going to have to switch fingers along the way and it doesn't work. You start the slide on the finger that you're trying to slide, that you're going to eventually slide to. And then what if I slid up to that A? A great little lick. Third first, and then 3rd first. Here's some of the beauty of this. It's just a little 5-note idea. I can start chaining these together. So what if I did this? Take a look at the second line. What was that? So now I did 2 octaves of the lick. You probably have to go from third to second finger there, and then go back to the third first. What if I descend with it? Again, I'm sliding from the third to the second. So I've got this lick that covers 2 octaves and gets me way over different parts of the neck, and it's a simple little 5-note idea. All right, so what if I wanted to do that? Let's say it doesn't use any open strings, so I can put that in other keys. Let's say if I wanted to put that in the key of B flat. Well, first finger on that 5th string, and that's going to be my root. Then everything's moved down 2 frets. Before we get to that third line, does that sound familiar? Sound familiar from my girl way back when? So the second chord in that series, it goes to an F. So take a look at that third line. So now let's do it with a 6th string root instead of a 5th string root. Learn how you can move these things around. Don't just learn one lick. Learn how you can switch them around. So now I can even get farther. So I do the lick. Same fingering as it was before. Now. And then I can even go up one more. If I want to keep going up higher. And then if I want to go up, I could even go up here. If I want to go up. If I want to go down, what do we have here? Everything is spinning out of that. Hey, threw that first lick in there for you. We've covered 3 licks so far. Now let me introduce a pattern. You've got this concept here called relative majors and minors. With each key, each major key, you have a flip side. You have a minor key that goes with it, that shares the same key signature. And don't get too lost in the theory of it. Just realize that with every key, it has a cousin, okay? Every major key has a minor key that's associated with it. Every minor key has a major key that's associated with it. What is the relationship? Well, if I'm on this F, I go, and that's the major key, major scale. I go up to the 6th step of that major scale, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, and that's the minor root. So this is the major root, and D is the minor root. So F major and D minor are cousins of each other. They share the same key signature. What that means for you is not just theory knowledge, it's actually really practical. I can get 2 uses out of the same lick. This same lick that works in F major, I'm now saying can also work in D minor. We can use this lick in 2 different places. So let's try that. Let's see if I get a little D minor groove going here. So now I'm in D minor. And I'm gonna play that same lick I was doing. Same lick. Also means that all these other licks can use in two different places too. I did that F lick in D minor, this is over the minor chords, and I can also do it in F major. That also means I can play an F major scale. I can solo an F major when I'm in D minor. So I can play my ideas in F major. That same lick works in D minor. Isn't that great how you can do that? So everything that you do can be in two different, all of these licks that I'm teaching you can be put in their major context or in their minor context. So let's also check, let's just kind of learn how we can split those keys. Look at the next one. It says a riff in C major. I go up to its sixth step, C, D, E, F, G, A. So C major and A minor are related. Let's go do another one. What if I had G major? G, I go up to its sixth step. G, A, B, C, D, E. G and E minor are related. So all of these, G and E minor are related, C and A minor are related, F and D minor are related. Now, in that little progression that I was playing there, I started a D minor, then I went to an F, and then to get me back to that D minor, I just threw the 5 of a D minor, which would be an A7th. Kind of did an A augmented there, because augmented sounds great going back to minor chords. So far we've learned 3 riffs and 1 big concept about relative majors and relative minors. Anything that works in major will also work in its relative minor that goes with it, and vice versa. Take a look at the 4th one, kind of a bluesy lick. Let's go in the key of A here. So here's this lick. Okay, so I'll do that again. So I'm hitting 2 notes at the same time. I'm kind of doing my hybrid picking thing. So I'm up here at the 5th position, and I've got the A. This works over an A7th in a bluesy situation, kind of an A minor, A bluesy situation. And I'm gonna bar my first finger on that 3rd, over those bottom 3 strings, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string, at the 5th fret. But I'm only going to hit the 3rd string note with my pick and the 1st string note with my middle finger. So get that motion first. Okay, now I'm going to add my 3rd finger to this 3rd string at the 7th fret. And that's going to be my starting point. It's a little bit more an advanced lick, but it sure works in a lot of great places. So I have these 2 notes I'm hitting, and then I'm going to hammer on my pinky to that 3rd string. So I only hit the top note once. 3rd, 4th, 3rd, back to 1st. So I see how I've got to have that 1st barred. Okay. And I'm just hitting I'm only striking the strings one time, and the rest is made with pull-offs and hammer-ons. Okay, then I do the next line. I go back to the where D and the A where I started. Maybe you can do a little hammer onto the second finger here. Then third finger on the A, third finger on the E, first finger on the A, just something to spin out of it, you know. One more time. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And just that little dyad there is a very hip little thing you can do in blues. It's a very hip little lick. If I want to sound bluesy, I do the root of whatever chord that I'm supposed to sound bluesy on. If that's, in this case, it's an A. And I do that little lick with my bar there, third finger, hammer on, fourth, back to third, back to first, back to third. Maybe I can even go to that C sharp there if I want to, or I don't have to. I can just keep the C natural if I want to. If I could add that second finger note. But this is blues, so you can use that minor third and the major third in there. So it takes a little bit of coordination to get that, but it's a very characteristic thing to play on guitar. I'm going to play it in kind of an A blues, but it also works over a C major because the A blues is kind of like an A minor. What's the relative major of an A minor? And I don't count up 6 because I'm starting on the minor note. I just count up 3, A, B, C. So I can play this over a C chord. Same lick over a C major, it sounds a little major, it sounds sweeter. Still a little bit of bluesy, but sounds sweeter. But if I play it over an A minor, an A blues tonality, it gets that really good, strong bluesy sound. All right, let me show you one last thing. Guitar is laid out in patterns. Let me show you one of the secrets, okay? We've got our 6th string and 5th string. We've got our 4th string and 3rd string. We've got our 2nd string and 1st string, adjacent strings. The 6th string and 5th string are tuned a 5th off, or a 4th off, an E to an A, E, F, G, A, okay? The 4th string and the 3rd string are also tuned in a 4th, D, E, F sharp, G. So there's the same interval. Different notes, but same interval. The last 2 strings, a B and an E, are also tuned in a 4th, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. Again, different notes, but the interval is the same. So I'm taking the same interval and I'm just putting it on different notes. Do you see that? Take a look at the first little lick there. I've got a simple little lick. Okay? First finger, third finger, first finger, third finger, third finger, third finger, first. Now, if I go up 2 frets, and started on the 4th string, I'm now an octave higher, and I play the exact same finger pattern. But Steve, don't you have to know all the notes? Not here, I just do the finger pattern. Does it work going up to the next one? Yes, it does, but you have to go up not just 1, you have to go up, not just 2 frets, you need to go up 3. So I need to come up here to this note and do the same finger pattern. So I can take this simple little idea and make it over 3 octaves. And I'm not thinking about all those notes. I'm doing the same finger pattern as long as I start it on the 6th string and on the 4th string and on the 2nd string. Now, it doesn't work on the 5th string or the 3rd string if you wanted to start it there. It doesn't work on those 2 strings, but it works on 6th, 4th, and 2nd. So that's an important thing to remember. So if I have any lick that involves just those 2 strings, this is the 2nd line, I can do that same pattern, go 2 frets up, and I get an octave up, go 3 frets up, and now I get it 3 octaves up. What about that last one? 1st to 4th, 1st, 3rd, 1st. 2 frets up, 3 frets up. So I can start spinning little ideas. It's the same finger pattern as long as I do it in both places. All right, we have learned 4 just little seeds of ideas. And the main idea there is that I want you to take those riffs, those licks, whatever you call them, little motifs, and put them in a variety of keys, figure them out. Sometimes the fingering adjusts a little bit. See if you can play them up, see if you can play them down, see if you can play something different out of the lick and spin out of it up and down different ways. You've also learned about relative majors and relative minors. Anything I can do in major, I can also do in minor. Anything I can do in minor also works in its relative major key, so you got to learn about flipping those 2 keys. And then we've also learned that there's this pattern of anything I do a 2-string lick that starts on the 6th string, it'll be an octave up if I start it 2 frets up on the 4th string, and it'll be 2 octaves up if I start it 3 frets up on the 2nd string. Whew, that's a lot to get to. That's the basic idea. Enjoy messing around with that, learn all that you can, and don't just learn one lick, learn it in every key and every place you can put a finger down. I wanted to let you guys know we've got our fall fingerstyle retreat coming up in just about 4 weeks now. Great fingerstyle guitarist. I was emailing back and forth. Stephen Bennett, the current reigning fingerstyle guitar champion, he's going to be with us. We have Gareth Pearson, who's been opening up for Tommy Emmanuel, and just a brilliant fingerstyle guitarist from England, Clive Carroll, the great Clive Carroll. And if you're interested in fingerstyle guitar, you can check it all out at fingerstyleretreat.com. We only have 3 slots left. So don't wait, because it is sold out every year for the last however many years. And it's most likely those will all get sold out. So if you're interested in coming, it's an absolute blast. Spend 3 days here, 3.5 days here in Nashville for during the peak of autumn colors. We're out at a beautiful retreat. It's glorious. If you're interested, there you go. I wanted to play one little progression, and talk about what am I thinking, okay? My wife always says, you should talk about what you're thinking. So here's this progression. It's a C with a G in the bass. That's the shape I'm using. There's 4 chords in it. The second chord is an A, it's a D7th with an A in the bass. The second is an F chord, but I'm going to have a C in the bass. So you'll notice each one of these has the 5th in its bass. The C with a G, D7 with an A, F with a C, and then I'm going to throw this little, an F minor 6th or a D minor 7 flat 5 with an A flat in the bass. And I'm going to get that progression. I'm going to put the looper on here, and we'll see if we can make some music with it. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, go. Okay, let's see if we got that in there. C chord with a G in the bass. D7th with an A in the bass, F with a C in the bass, F minor 6th with an A flat in the bass, beautiful progression. Let me tell you what I'm thinking. Okay? First of all, this C with a G in the bass is a just a very rich way to play a C. Just put that third finger on that low G. D7th I'm playing up here with an A in the bass. I can even add that open E. Then I have an F chord. I'm going to add the C in the bass. Little hammer-ons. Second finger on the A flat. Then I have this barred with my third finger in there. What am I thinking? Over the C chord, I'm thinking I could play anything in C. Anything, a C scale, anything on that would work. But then it goes to a D7th. Well, okay, here's what I'm thinking here. I could play a D7th arpeggio, D, F sharp, A, C. I could play an F sharp minor 7th arpeggio, F sharp, A, C, E, which is kind of the old super arpeggio trick. You just go up to the third of whatever chord you're on, and you flip it. In dominant 7th case, you'd flip it to the minor 7 flat 5. So I could play an F sharp minor 7 flat 5 lick. Steve, what magic was that? It's an F sharp minor 7th arpeggio. And then I spin out to the D. I could also do, but wait a minute, a D7th is the 5 chord of what key? D7th is the 5 of a G. So I could really play anything in G major over that chord. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, as long as I have that F sharp in there. So over that D7th, I could play it in just in the key of G. Okay, and that would work. Over the F major 7th, oh, over the F, I'm just playing an F major 7th. You know. Not the key of F. I'm basically in the key of C, but I'm just kind of playing an F major 7th arpeggio. Now, the tricky one is that D minor or that F minor 6th with an A flat in the bass. What on earth can you play over that? Ooh! Ah, that is also a D minor 7th flat 5. It has the same notes as a D minor 7th flat 5. That means I could play a D half diminished arpeggio. But wait a minute. D minor 7 flat 5, that's like the 7 chord in a particular key. So in what key is the D minor 7 flat 5 the 7 chord? If you go up just a half step, it's the key of E flat. So I could play in E flat major over that D minor 7 flat 5, that F minor 6, A flat in the bass, same notes. And I'm just gonna play in E flat major. Let's get our progression going and let's see if this works. C major, D7. I'm gonna play in the key of G. The F, I'm gonna play an F major 7th. Over that F minor 6, I'm gonna do maybe a D minor 7 flat 5. Back to C major. D major over that D7. F major 7. Sorry. So over that D minor, the last one, the D minor 7th, that F minor 6th, I'm playing an E flat major. F major 7th, E flat major. F minor 7th arpeggio. G major. F major 7th. E flat major 7. A minor 7th arpeggio. E flat. One more. There you go. That's a little bit of what on earth am I thinking? That's what I was thinking over that particular progression. Those chords, again, for you to keep up, is a C with a G in the bass, a D7th with an A in the bass, an F with a C in the bass, and the trickiest chord of all, it's an F minor 6th with an A flat in the bass, which is the same notes as a D minor 7th flat 5. Keep up the great work in your learning, and we will see you guys next time.